Hello? Check, check. All right. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. All right. Welcome to Matt Pinto Live. This is Matt Pinto's podcast, where we will be discussing passion, discernment, and perhaps music. I thought that I was gonna go the first 10 episodes. Just what is that? What is that? All right. All right. With like getting a different guest each time, but this has been such a year of learning for me. I decide I'm just gonna, sometimes you just do 2 podcast episodes back to back where you're the guest of your podcast, and that's just the way the life is. So that's that. And I was taking a bath in my apartment in Long Island, and I was thinking about that word, discernment. And you know what they say? If you cross your arms, that's like that's like a adverse sort of like offensive. Okay. I was thinking about discernment. Let's talk about this beautiful turtle. I made sure at the beginning of this podcast that we have some copywritten free turtles and other images going on. Apparently, YouTube not the craziest fan of showing the Undertaker versus Shane McMahon Hell in a Cell WrestleMania 32 on their I guess it's WWE. And I can understand why. A lot of people obviously would say Shawn Taker is the best Hell in a Cell match. We're less than 5 minutes in, already talking pro wrestling. Nothing wrong with that. So discernment, yeah. I think that we are so bereft of discernment, and that's the. Let's talk about my. So I guess I think I have a manager. I'm pretty sure that I have a manager, I guess. And he was saying that the undershirt is not. So I was gonna rock that, but instead, I put on this collared. Oh, I put on this this thing. So we got the last word coming up. I don't know if the ads are copyrightable or not. I mean, I can't really. God grant me the serenity to not worry about the ads, right? So that's like when I kept using in the first podcast. So we got the last word this Friday, solo, for 3 hours. If you want to sit in, let me know. If you're watching this podcast and wondering if you can sit in at my show. And comes day after, we're finally getting in the studio. Richie Kanada's Cove City Sound Studios going to record some songs. I'm so nervous about it. I'm starting to warm up to the idea. I think it's going to be fun. Natalie Barbieri might come hang out. I thought for. Oh wait, you know what? Maybe I should try to stay on one topic for longer than a minute or something. Let's talk about that. You know what? Yeah, that's a part of. Let's talk about this recording session, right? So we're gonna do the swan song. At Peace. This new tune I got called Cigarettes Again. I played a little bit of it on the last podcast. And got Kevin Brigandy playing drums. We got Ivan Bodley playing bass. AC's going to play a little keys. And yeah, I don't know who's watching this. I think some people like it though when I put out a podcast. So I know Erica's listening to this. So yeah, it's the one thing I haven't done. I haven't released music. I haven't released music, you know. But I'm trying to. I'm like a broken record. I've always been talking about releasing my music. So this is Matt Pinto live. All right, I got the guitar plugged into the other interface channel instead of having the acoustic. I wonder. I can't really hold it and play, but I figure I might play a little bit and then see how good I could get it to. You know what? I think I probably could hold this and play. This probably doesn't sound that good. I've been really trying, baby, trying to hold back this feeling for so long. And if you feel like I feel, baby. Let's play a little guitar, right? I'm looking at the Logic session with the 2 tracks going by. But it's completely unplugged. I'm gonna try to make it sound like like all right in post. What you know about Bach Violin Sonata, huh? What you know about that batch? Yeah, this is comfortable. This is comfortable to hold my arms. I'm not trying to I'm not trying to yeah, we'll see how this session goes. I hope that I don't have to. I hope I can get an EP done without having to go back to the studio a bunch. Because even if you got high friends in high places, it's pretty expensive. You know? God. Yeah. God bless everyone else who. No, I shouldn't. Um. Yeah, I got a little resentment here and there about being jealous of other people's privilege. You know, I'll admit it. I ain't afraid. It'd be nice to have a sugar mama, but here we are, just paying for our EP out of pocket. I was thinking I might. Maybe I can still do a GoFundMe to like recoup. Is that the right word, recoup? Like after. But I'm excited to like crank my guitar amp and get a good sound out of that. No, you know what I was thinking when I was thinking about about doing a podcast, like, oh, liquid has been detected. Is it in the connector? Disconnect. What? I don't even know if that. I just got this crazy message about liquid in the detector. I don't know. I cleared out all the duplicates before this. Okay, no. So, I was thinking about how like I gotta go off and not be afraid. I think some people will want to listen to this for real, and I gotta not be afraid about talking about the stuff that I want to talk about. Let's talk about guitar amps. I'm excited to blast my Fender Deluxe Reverb in the studio. Shout out Jason Liebman. I would be blown away if Jason Liebman is listening to this. I hung out with Jason Liebman the other day. He showed me how to the tonal secrets of cranking that thing, cranking it up. People don't realize that you got to crank it up. You get that natural distortion. You feel me? Some people don't like to crank it up. Some people yell at you if you crank it up. No, there's with guitar amps, they're meant to be like they work best if you make them really loud. Like louder than, what you might think is appropriate. But seldom do people have the space to really do that. And the past and I've been thinking a lot about the evolution of distortion and how that came from cranking that thing. Okay, I think on the last podcast we started a new segment called something along the lines of what pedals are here. We're going to go back to that podcast. Let's see. And it's interesting that there's not all the pedals that are here. That not all of my pedals are here right now. There's only a select few. This is the Snow Fury Harmonic Fuzz. Um, I was gifted this by Mr. Josh Freeman. Shout out, Mr. Josh Freeman. This is a chorus pedal that Charlie gave me. That's a hair. That's connected to the Velcro. Shout out chorus pedals. Shout out Kurt Cobain. Load up on. Yeah. Shout out everybody making money playing music. Shout out everybody at least somewhat putting that money back into the gig economy. You feel me? Shout out Joe Pess. Right now, these are my favorite picks. Whoops. Load up on guns. These are my favorite picks right now. Is that center? Or not centered, focused. The Dunlop Jazz 3s in max grip. Whatever. Yeah. It's hard to know if you're a guitar teacher. It's hard to know when to bring out the hammer of Thor. For a bunch of reasons. One, maybe it's completely uncalled for. No reason to bring out the hammer of Thor. What is the hammer of Thor? The hammer of Thor is like that discipline, that that straight vibing because you think that the student needs it. We're talking straight up vibing middle schoolers. No. I'd ask any person who makes a living as a music teacher. Sometimes it's uncalled for. Even like if it is. Sometimes a kid might cut you off. Look at that. Sometimes if you bring out the hammer of Thor too hard, kid's not gonna take it. Gonna tell the parents, and sometimes the parents are on board. Sometimes okay, but yeah, I think it's okay. I think it's okay if I tell. No one's gonna go too crazy. So I got this great kid going into high school. Totally down for the cause, ready to wants to play all this Ozzy Osbourne, Randy Rhoads era to the T, right? And I think that's great. And my favorite students are, it's not proportional to talent per se. It's proportional to potential. I said to this kid, hey, look, let's go. Like, yeah, let's get that Randy Rhoads stuff happening. But you should be able to play some bar chords, though, before you can play the Crazy Train solo note for note. Today, I've kind of been like kind of cool. Like, oh, you didn't learn, you didn't learn about a girl this week. Okay, and the kid loves Nirvana too. Towards the end of the lesson, I'm like, all right, let's hear about a girl. Comes to the second chorus. I take advantage while you leave me out to dry. I can't see you, right? Oh man, I'm sorry. I'm saying right too much. See you every night, free. Da 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 da. I do. Waiting for the guitar solo. kid keeps playing E minor to G, E minor to G. I know we we're talking about bar chords, but it's like you don't know know when the solo's about to happen and about a girl. I started vibing the kid real like, you know? Goes in the solo. Goes back to the C sharp minor chord. It sounds like mush. And I basically got up and left, essentially. I mean, you hear this like 6 minor chord coming. You wanted to, I basically got up and left. No, but I sent a voice memo to the parent immediately, being like, "Hey, look, like if you could stay on top of blah blah, blah. And yeah, I think they're a little upset after and I got a emoji back, I think it was all right. All right, no one, no one's gonna care about that. All right, hey, look, we got another podcast happening, and hey, I hope you wish me luck for my big recording session. And yeah, we're gonna read a poem to tie it all together. But I didn't know. I had an idea for a poem before. The poem that I'm looking at is a little long. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to read this poem. Huh. Let's see if I can. Maybe I'll use. Oh. All right, I'm gonna ask. Yeah, I'm gonna ask ChatGPT. For a poem. Okay. What would be a short, inspiring poem to read at the conclusion of my podcast episode? All right. Let's see. No. I didn't want it to generate a poem. It generated a poem. I'm not gonna know. I want it to be a. Okay, I meant a famous poem previously written by a reputable, famous poet. Got it. Here's a famous, inspiring poem that works perfectly for a podcast conclusion. The Road Not Taken by Robert Frost. But I'm going to Google it just to... Okay. So I'm not reading... Okay, so I'm going to read The Road Not Taken by Robert Frost. But I'm not reading it from ChatGPT. I'm reading it from another website. Two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both. And be one traveler long I stood, and looked down one as far as I could, to where it bent in the undergrowth. Then took the other as just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear. Though as for that the passing there had warned them really about the same. And both that morning equally lay in leaves no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day. Yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. I shall be telling this with a sigh, somewhere ages and ages hence. Two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. Now, I started to think during that, before I read it, I feel like I just want to play a little bit more guitar. Just a little bit more guitar. Hey, can you send me some good vibes Thursday morning when I go into the studio, cut my tunes? All right, I'm gonna play a little more guitar. You're really getting the raw, uncut deal. And so I say, please listen to each other. Bye.